Necessity never made a good bargain. Out of adversity comes opportunity. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Rather go to bed supperless than run in debt for a breakfast. Vessels large may venture more, but little boats should keep near shore. Wish not so much to live long as to live well. Right injuries in dust, benefits in marble. A man in a passion rides a mad horse. A quarrelsome man has no good neighbors. Great good nature without prudence is a great misfortune. He that scatters thorns, let him not go barefoot. The honey is sweet, but the bee has a sting. Bad gains are true losses. Little leaks sink the ship. Don't judge of men's wealth or piety by their Sunday appearances. Death takes no bribes. After crosses and losses, men grow humbler and wiser. The most exquisite folly is made of wisdom spun too fine. A brother may not be a friend, but a friend will always be a brother. A father's a treasure, a brother's a comfort, a friend is both. Philosophy as well as foppery often changes fashion. A true friend is the best possession. Friendship increases by visiting friends, but visiting seldom. No better relation than a prudent and faithful friend. A false friend and a shadow attend only while the sun shines. Great spenders are bad lenders. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Avoid dishonest gain. No price can recompense the pangs of vice. Dally not with other folks, spouses, or money. Half the truth is often a whole lie. Keep conscience clear, then never fear. Pay what you owe and what you're worth, you'll know. The sting of a reproach is the truth of it. A good spouse and health is a person's best wealth. Content makes poor men rich, discontent makes rich men poor. Industry pays debts, despair increases them. Observe all men, thyself most. The discontented man finds no easy chair. You may delay, but time will not. An open foe may prove a curse, but a pretended friend is worse. Many have quarrelled about religion that never practiced it. Who has deceived thee as oft as thyself? Virtue and happiness are mother and daughter. Quarrels never could last long, if on one side only lay the wrong. What signifies knowing the names, if you know not the natures of things? Wise men learn by others' harms, fools by their own. He that cannot obey cannot command. By diligence and patience, the mouse bit into the cable. Don't halloo until you're out of the wood. Be slow in choosing a friend, slower still in changing. He that would live in peace and at ease must not speak all he knows, nor judge all he sees. Paintings and fightings are best seen at a distance. When you taste honey, remember gall. Do not squander time, for that is the stuff that life is made of. He that pays for work before it's done has but a pennyworth for 2 pence. One today is worth 2 tomorrows. One man may be more cunning than another, but not more cunning than everybody else. The devil wipes his breach with poor folks' pride. Little strokes fell great oaks. Nor eye in a letter, nor hand in a purse, nor ear in the secret of another. Better slip with foot than tongue. It is wise not to seek a secret, and honest not to reveal it. Clean your finger before you point at my spots. Be not niggardly of what costs thee nothing, as courtesy, counsel, and countenance. Each year one vicious habit rooted out, in time might make the worst man good throughout. Good example is the best sermon. If evils come not, then our fears are in vain, and if they do, fear but augments the pain. It is better to take many injuries than to give one. Seek virtue, and of that posest, to Providence resign the rest. The wise and the brave dares own that he was wrong. Who is strong? He that can conquer his bad habits. If you know how to spend less than you get, you have the philosopher's stone. Wealth is not his that has it, but his that enjoys it. Who is rich? He that enjoys his portion. Lost time is never found again. Diligence is the mother of good luck. He that waits on fortune is never sure of a dinner. Industry, perseverance, and frugality make fortune yield. No gains without pains. Well done is better than well said. Wine is constant proof that God loves us and loves to see us happy. Money has never made man happy, nor will it. There is nothing in its nature to produce happiness. The more of it one has, the more one wants. To the generous mind, the heaviest debt is that of gratitude, when it is not in our power to repay it. Being ignorant is not so much a shame as being unwilling to learn. Justice will not be served until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are. Anger is never without a reason, but seldom with a good one. Whatever is begun in anger ends in shame. He that falls in love with himself will have no rivals. Tricks and treachery are the practice of fools that don't have brains enough to be honest. Experience keeps a dear school, but fools will learn in no other. Do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. Keep in the sunlight. A house is not a home unless it contains food and fire for the mind as well as the body. There cannot be good living where there is no good drinking. In wine there is wisdom, in beer there is freedom, in water there is bacteria. To find out a girl's faults, praise her to her girlfriends. Want of care does us more damage than want of knowledge. Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. People who are wrapped up in themselves make small packages. He that is of the opinion money will do everything may well be suspected of doing everything for money. When the well's dry, we know the worth of water. He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. An undutiful daughter will prove an unmanageable wife. While we may not be able to control all that happens to us, we can control what happens inside us. When you're finished changing, you're finished. Never confuse motion with action. A little neglect may breed mischief. For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. And for want of a horse, the rider was lost. I am Lord of myself, accountable to none. Remember not only to say the right thing in the right place, but far more difficult still, to leave unsaid the wrong thing at the tempting moment. Think of these things, whence you came, where you are going, and to whom you must account. Consider how hard it is to change yourself, and you'll understand what little chance you have in trying to change others. To be humble to superiors is duty, to equals courtesy, to inferiors nobleness. If you desire many things will seem few. It is much easier to suppress a first desire than to satisfy those that follow. As we must account for every idle word, so must we account for every idle silence. Words may show a man's wit, but actions his meaning. Constant complaint is the poorest sort of pay for all the comforts we enjoy. 3 may keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. Reckless youth makes rueful age. If time be of all things the most precious, wasting time must be the greatest prodigality. All wars are follies, very expensive and very mischievous ones. Never leave that till tomorrow which you can do today. Applause waits on success. Promises may fit the friends, but non-performance will turn them into enemies. Energy and persistence conquer all things. Democracy is 2 wolves and a lamb voting on what to have for lunch. Liberty is a well-armed lamb contesting the vote. Only a virtuous people are capable of freedom. As nations become corrupt and vicious, they have more need of masters. Reading makes a full man, meditation a profound man, discourse a clear man. Wise men don't need advice, fools won't take it. Never ruin an apology with an excuse. Old boys have their playthings as well as young ones, the difference is only in the price. Do not fear mistakes, you will know failure. Continue to reach out. None are deceived but they that confide. If we do not hang together, we will all hang separately. If all printers were determined not to print anything till they were sure it would offend nobody, there would be very little printed. Nothing is more fatal to health than an overcare of it. Any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do. 1 good husband is worth 2 good wives, for the scarcer things are, the more they are valued. I look upon death to be as necessary to our constitution as sleep. We shall rise refreshed in the morning. An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. Doing your best means never stop trying. Teach your child to hold his tongue. He'll learn fast enough to speak. Originality is the art of concealing your sources. If passion drives you, let reason hold the reins. There are 3 faithful friends, an old wife, an old dog, and ready money. He who can have patience can have what he will. Happiness depends more on the inward disposition of mind than on outward circumstances. Instead of cursing the darkness, light a candle. He that drinks fast pays slow. Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. Let each new year find you a better person. Love your enemies, for they tell you your faults. He that has done you a kindness will be more ready to do you another than he whom you yourself have obliged. Remember, beneath every cynic there lies a romantic, and probably an injured one. Keep your eyes wide open before marriage, half shut afterwards. A man is not completely born until he is dead. He that would fish must venture his bait. Genius without education is like silver in the mine. Money never made a man happy yet, nor will it. The more a man has, the more he wants. Instead of filling a vacuum, it makes one. They who can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Wine makes daily living easier, less hurried with fewer tensions and more tolerance. The discovery of a wine is of greater moment than the discovery of a constellation. The universe is too full of stars. If you do tomorrow what you did today, you will get tomorrow what you got today. God heals and the doctor takes the fees. The rule is simple: be sober and temperate, and you will be healthy. A penny saved is a penny earned. If you would know the value of money, go and try to borrow some. A great empire, like a great cake, is most easily diminished at the edges. All mankind is divided into three classes: those that are immovable, those that are movable, and those that move. Don't throw stones at your neighbors if your own windows are glass. It takes many good deeds to build a good reputation, and only one bad one to lose it. A countryman between two lawyers is just like a fish between two cats. Your net worth to the world is usually determined by what remains after your bad habits are subtracted from your good ones. Those who surrender freedom for security will not have, nor do they deserve, either one. The best investment is in the tools of one's own trade. Rebellion against tyrants is obedience to God. If you would be wealthy, think of saving as well as getting. The sleeping fox catches no poultry. The absent are never without fault, nor the present without excuse. Innocence is its own defense. Any society that would give up a little liberty to gain a little security will deserve neither and lose both. We may give advice, but we cannot give conduct. The people heard it and approved the doctrine and immediately practiced the contrary. If you have no honey in your pot, have some in your mouth. Tart words make no friends. A spoonful of honey will catch more flies than a gallon of vinegar. The person who deserves most pity is a lonesome one on a rainy day who doesn't know how to read. There never was a good war or a bad peace. It is a bad temper of mind that takes delight in opposition. Strive to be the best and you may succeed. He may well win the race that runs by himself. Diligence overcomes difficulties. Sloth makes them. Absence sharpens love. Presence strengthens it. We do not stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. Games lubricate the body and mind. Be civil to all, serviceable to many, familiar with few, friend to one, enemy to none. The electrical matter consists of particles extremely subtle, since it can permeate common matter, even the densest metals, with such ease and freedom as not to receive any perceptible resistance. It is easier to prevent bad habits than to break them. There is much difference between imitating a man and counterfeiting him. Beware of the young doctor and the old barber. It is the first responsibility of every citizen to question authority. Laws to gentle are seldom obeyed, to severe seldom executed. For every minute spent organizing, an hour is earned. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Taxes on consumption. like those on capital or income. To be just must be uniform. He does not possess wealth, it possesses him. Remember that credit is money. Change is the only constant in life. One's ability to adapt to those changes will determine your success in life. A long life may not be good enough, but a good life is long enough. To follow by faith alone is to follow blindly. Half a truth is often a great lie. Laziness travels so slowly that poverty soon overtakes him. There are 3 things extremely hard: steal, a diamond, and 2, know one's self. The poor have little, beggars none, the rich too much, enough, not one. Trouble springs from idleness, and grievous toil from needless ease. Idleness is the Dead Sea that swallows all virtues. Take time for all things. Great haste makes great waste. If you would have a faithful servant, and one that you like, serve yourself. There have been as great souls unknown to fame as any of the most famous. Love and toothache have many cures, but none infallible, except possession and dispossession. Vicious actions are not hurtful because they are forbidden, but forbidden because they are hurtful. Beware the hobby that eats. A mob's a monster, heads enough but no brains. I fear the man who drinks water and so remembers this morning what the rest of us said last night. He that lives upon hope will die farting. Nothing preaches better than the act. He that blows the coals and quarrels that he has nothing to do with has no right to complain if the sparks fly in his face. Make yourself sheep and the wolves will eat you. If you want to make a friend, let someone do you a favor. The eye of the master will do more work than both his hands. You will find the key to success under the alarm clock. The tongue offends and the ears get the cuffing. Cunning proceeds from lack of capacity. Fatigue is the best pillow. Squeamish stomachs cannot eat without pickles. To succeed, jump as quickly at opportunities as you do at conclusions. The expenses required to prevent a war are much lighter than those that will, if not prevented, be absolutely necessary to maintain it. If a man could have half of his wishes, he would double his troubles. Be cheerful. The problems that worry us most are those that never arrive. Be not disturbed at trifles, or at accidents common or unavoidable. Employ thy time well, if thou meanest to gain leisure. If principle is good for anything, it is worth living up to. Those things that hurt, instruct. Nature performs the cure, the physician takes the fee. There will be sleeping enough in the grave. Be neither silly nor cunning, but wise. The cunning man steals a horse, the wise man lets him alone. Rich widows are the only second-hand goods that sell at first-class prices. Reckless haste makes poor speed. Eat not to dullness, drink not to elevation. They that are on their guard and appear ready to receive their adversaries are in much less danger of being attacked than the supine, secure, and negligent. Before you consult your fancy, consult your purse. Not to oversee workmen is to leave them your purse open. A light purse is a heavy curse. He's the best physician that knows the worthlessness of the most medicines. In general, mankind, since the improvement of cookery, eats twice as much as nature requires. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Happiness consists more in conveniences of pleasure that occur every day than in great pieces of good fortune that happen but seldom. Guests, like fish, begin to smell after 3 days. A man that raises a large family does, indeed, while he lives to observe them, stand a broader mark for sorrow, but then he stands a broader mark for pleasure too. For the best return on your money, pour your purse into your head. The doors of wisdom are never shut. Life's tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late. We are all born ignorant, but one must work hard to remain stupid. I wake up every morning at 9 and grab for the morning paper. Then I look at the obituary page. If my name is not on it, I get up. The good missionary, disgusted with this idle tale, said, "What I delivered to you were sacred truths, but what you tell me is mere fable, fiction, and falsehood." The miser's cheese is wholesomest. The way to wealth depends on just 2 words, industry and frugality. Wealth is nothing more or less than a tool to do things with. It is like the fuel that runs the furnace, or the belt that runs the wheel, only a means to an end. Neither a fortress nor a maidenhead will hold out long after they begin to parley. Many a man thinks he is buying pleasure when he is really selling himself to it. Distrust and caution are the parents of security. At 20 years of age, the will reigns, at 30, the wit, and at 40, the judgment. That as soon as a party has gained its general point, each member becomes intent upon his particular interest, which, thwarting others, breaks that party into divisions and occasions more confusion. I wish the bald eagle had not been chosen as EHI representative of our country. He is a bird of bad moral character. Like those among men who live by sharping and robbing, he is generally poor and often very lousy. The bitterness of poor quality remains long after the sweetness of low price is forgotten. Blessed is he that expects nothing, for he shall never be disappointed. In going on with these experiments, how many pretty systems do we build, which we soon find ourselves obliged to destroy? If there is no other use discovered of electricity, this, however, is something considerable, that it may help to make a vain man humble. The learned fool writes his nonsense in better language than the unlearned, but still 'tis nonsense. Tomorrow every fault is to be amended, but that tomorrow never comes. Whoever shall introduce into public affairs the principles of primitive Christianity will change the face of the world. There never was a truly great man that was not at the same time truly virtuous. God works wonders now and then. Behold, a lawyer and an honest man. The busy man has few idle visitors. To the boiling pot, the flies come not. A slip of the foot you may soon recover, but a slip of the tongue you may never get over. Be not sick too late, nor well too soon. If you would keep your secret from an enemy, tell it not to a friend. Houses, ships, and even towns and churches may be effectually secured from the stroke of lightning by their means. The rotten apples spoil its companions. In this world, nothing is certain but death and taxes. Much of our most highly valued cultured heritage has been acquired at the cost of our sexuality. The world is full of fools and faint hearts, and yet everyone has courage enough to bear the misfortunes and wisdom enough to manage the affairs of his neighbor. A man separated from his reflected belt is no man at all. Human action can be modified to some extent, but human nature cannot be changed.